Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to the Tribe of the Tides, where in the last episode, Vankier finally found a suitable place to start his own little family, and so far it's been pretty successful. We haven't had a double berry pod collector born just yet, but we did have little sunflower pop up in our nest in the last episode, and we also had this baby who I would like to possibly rename Rose. Not only will that fit along with her father's naming theme of plants, but she also has those adorable poison fangs which could kind of look like the thorns on a rose. But we do have a little bit of a situation right now too, because a carnivore decided to pop up on this side of the island right at the end of the last episode. So now Wave is tasked with the duty of getting rid of this guy since he is our guard. He is one of the only guards on this side of the island right now. Honey is not going to be doing any fighting. Of course, she's just going to be picking her berries right now, so we'll have her clear out that berry bush. And then I guess we'll have Wave just start attacking this carnivore. He should probably use up all of his turns to do so. He has a 4 in strength, so that should have made a very good dent on this guy. Yes, it did. So actually, if we have Cloud come over here, then he could probably finish him off, but I do want to make sure that his baby is going to be safe too. Once again, the bird does not seem to be in our skies. We have not seen the bird in ages. I'm not sure what happened to the bird, but apparently it has moved on from our island. For now though, I will place Phoenix over here by the nest so that he will definitely be safe. And then we can move Cloud up this way and slap the carnivore one last time and then grab up the meat too. So there we go, that wasn't too bad. I guess Cloud is kind of like a little guard for the pack too for that matter, because he does of course have that big claw. Komiko would probably be the one to take care of the carnivores otherwise because she has the claw too, but she is currently trying to start her own little family, so she needs to stay right by the nests. If we move Sunflower over this way, we can have Honey sit in this nest, and then she can have her baby on the next turn too. And then maybe, we could move, let's see, Kamiko over here. Unfortunately, that's going to leave some of the babies unprotected, but if we move Vankier right back to the spot afterwards, after we breed the two, then they should be fine. So we can have Kamiko use her turn, and then we can have Vankier scoot right back over here to guard all of his babies, all of his little babies, aside from Phoenix, of course. Phoenix isn't his child, but I'm sure he would still look after him just to keep this entire pack safe. Now, way over here in the ocean, we have our little family of outcasts actually trying to make their way to the water tribe. Anara is pregnant with another baby right now, and I think Flotsam probably would have realized that she's getting a little bit slower in her old age. So maybe he would ask her to kindly move ahead of them to try to find a nest to settle herself down in, because she's out of energy at the moment. And oh my goodness, do we have another bunny back here? Kirtavan, you might actually want to pounce on this one. There we go. So it's actually a very good thing that these guys moved on, because now Kirtavan is moving straight toward the nest where they had their baby before. And in fact, Perry, you are going to want to scoot right up here with your mother and your father to get away from the carnivore pack, because they are not going to be too happy to see that their brother has had a child of his own. So let's have Anara scoot just a little bit further ahead. They are going to assure her that they'll be right behind her, and it looks like, unfortunately, Flotsam has grabbed that parasite illness that so many of our other creatures have as well, so we're going to have to keep a close eye on him. And in fact, maybe we can kind of scout around for another one of those leeches. It looks like our shores are unfortunately bare right now, but maybe we could actually have Flotsam come up here just to light up the way for Anara and his little son. Perry is not too far behind, so he should be able to catch up easily. He does have 2 turns now because he did grow his second gem. He can move 2 spaces per turn, so it is a little bit harder for him, but still not as hard as Pine, who's living back here with all of the creatures in the healer's glade right now. He can only move 1 space at a time, so he really has it hard. He's spending his time with Zen at the moment. They're kind of chatting away. Maybe they could pick their berries. We'll have Zen come over here to snatch up a couple of the berries. Pine would not be able to because, of course, he doesn't have the collecting ability, but at the very least, he could scoot over here and just peek in some of this grass for Zen to keep him safe too. Then I believe we actually have some more carnivore meat over here to harvest, so maybe we could have Birch pick that up. It does look like he's getting very close to the end of his life too. He unfortunately was a little bit sick. After all of the drama that went down between him and his son, he got sick because he was very, very worried about Pine when he was abandoned. So he unfortunately lost a little bit of his life. He could possibly come over here to try this healing fruit, but we are getting very low on the fruits at the moment. Most of them still need to grow back right now. so we might actually have to save that for later. For now, we could have Birch come over here to at least pick up some of the berries for the pack, and then we probably want Tironu on some of his last days too, to come out this way to clear out the tree a little bit more for the panda sons, because I am hoping that maybe Wayward and Zen could come over here to pick up the acorns. That would probably be the best idea for them, considering that they both have that lovely cracker jaw, so they're one of the few who can actually crack open the acorns for the pack. Now we have Cove back here, who is also quite sick with the parasite illness, so we need him to find some way to get rid of that as well. We were hoping that he was going to be able to find some sort of leech, but he's also having a lot of trouble finding leeches in the water right now, so I think his only chance is going to be to kind of follow this little stream up to where the healers are living, and maybe he could also try to munch on this little healing fruit. Again, we're so low on healing fruits right now that we're really going to have to ration these out properly. I feel like Cove would be the better one to give it to simply because he's younger. He would have more days left on him if he ate the healing fruit than Birch, who is so close to the end of his life anyway. He's actually in his senior years right now, so I'm not sure if it would really be worth it to give him the healing fruit over Cove. We could have Wayward start moving toward the tree though, because he could definitely help clear this out, and he could also pick up a couple of acorns along the way too. So I think that's this side of the island taken care of, because we do want to leave Hope right on top of this little stump here to keep a lookout, though we do have something rustling over here too. These guys are out of turn, so unfortunately they're not going to be able to check it out, but I feel like it's probably a bunny, because we have had so many bunnies pop up on this side of the island so far. Now Pearl was actually trying to fish with Shark. Unfortunately, he is on the wrong end of the fish, and he doesn't actually have a very good movement speed in the water because he doesn't have any webbed feet, so it's a little bit tricky for him to maneuver himself around the fish to scare them toward her. But we do have a clown koi right over here. That's interesting. If she was only on this side of the pond instead, maybe, is it actually going to stay there? Oh no, it moved just a little bit too far away. That's interesting, so they can actually move further than one tile per turn. We'll have to keep that in mind, so we can't really pin them down like we could with the bunnies. But maybe if we keep trying to move Shark in the right location, then we can start scaring these guys away. Unfortunately, they just scoot all around Shark while he's in the water, so maybe we should abandon that for now. We'll see if Pearl can catch a few more fish later, but I actually want her to start her family very soon, because she is getting close to the end of her life too. So maybe we could have Shark and Pearl start a family together. I'm sure that they would be willing to, considering that they both love the fish so much. So maybe we'll have Shark come out of the water now and start making his way back toward the mainland, because we do have all of these empty nests over here that we definitely need to fill. And for that matter, Riptide and Marina were also going to start their own little family together, so they should probably start making their way back toward the nest too. For now, we'll have Riptide come over here and just gather up a couple of these berries, and then Marina can come over here and breed with him, and then start making her way back to the nest too. And oh my goodness, a leech! There was actually a leech in that water? Oh no, that is not good. Could we actually have River come down here and help poor Marina? We definitely do not need both of the children of Kareem having the same illness. That would not be good. Now, River, I guess we could actually have Breeze take your place, because he does have the nimble fingers, so he could sit there instead and grab up the berries for us. And then we wanted Brooke to grab this crabbit meat from the last episode, and then she could come up here instead, because I think she's probably going to take the place of Misty and just try to keep all of the babies safe that are born on this side of the island. So River, for now, why don't you come over here just to position yourself a little bit closer to the berry bushes. And then we have Cinder way back here too. What are you up to, Cinder? Oh no, it's your last day of life as well. Can you get close enough to your son, I wonder? I guess he could come over here and maybe wave to his son. I guess that's basically all he can do, wave to him from across the stream over here. And then we'll have him pick his berries just to give the pack a little bit more food to eat before he passes away. And that should actually be this side of the island complete too, so we just have the carnivores left over here, who are currently in the middle of a little bit of a competition, because Needle and Scratch both want to see who can catch more rabbits. So far, Needle has caught 1 and Scratch has caught 0, so we're going to see if we can find more bunnies running around on the beach right now. I guess we're actually going to have to move Rarecoat over here by her father, just to keep her safe. He has 6 more days on his life, so at least he'll still be around to not only keep watch on top of his little stump, Actually, is this not lighting up the area? Like, I'm pretty sure it lights up more than that usually, so maybe we should move him down here, and there's a bunny actually, that's good to see. And then we'll move him back up here. There we go. Okay, so there must have been a little bit of a glitch when I loaded up the game again and it wasn't properly showing all of the lit up area that it should when they're on top of the stumps. Is it the same with Hope? It might actually be the same with Hope back here too, so let's scoot him off of his little stump and then scoot him right back on. There we go. That should definitely help us out a little bit more, because those are very, very helpful in general so that we know exactly what sort of dangers are lurking in the darkness. Now, Needle, can you actually pounce on this guy? Unfortunately, she's just a little bit too far away, but she might be able to scare it between her and Scratch. Okay, it moved over here instead, so she can actually grab up this one too, and that gives her 2 points now. She has 2 points for the bunny competition, so you are lagging a little bit behind Scratch, and I don't think he would like that. He would be very, very upset that he hasn't been able to find any bunnies. So maybe he would scoot along this way and try to see if maybe they're in the tide pools. We did have a lot of bunnies spawning around the tide pools before, so it is a good guess, but unfortunately he was not able to find any. We do have little Swift over here who has developed a fondness for the berries just like her mother, so she might go ahead and pick a couple of the berries too. I feel like the berries, these sweet berries, would give her a lot of energy to just zip around the pack. She is one of the few, just like her sister Rarico, who can really move around this area because she does have a running leg, so it does make sense that she would like to munch on some very sweet berries too. Now, I think that might actually be everyone's turns complete. We do still have this rustling back here too, so I do want to check that out once the day ticks over. But we also want to make sure that our mutation menu is set up correctly for Honey's baby, and I think that's just fine. We have the nimble fingers, and we also have the poison fangs, and while she doesn't have the poison fangs in her genetics, it would be nice if this side of the pack could develop the poison fangs on them anyway, just like this little baby right here, Rose. So let's go ahead and skip the day and hope that no more carnivores come jumping out of the swamplands. So far so good, and oh my goodness, is this our first little collector baby? I think it actually is. Look at you, little guy. It seems like, yeah, he has the webbed hind feet too. I'm not exactly sure where he picked that up. Was that in Honey's genetics? Yeah, it actually was. She had that, and so did Vankier actually, so he has it in his recessives. So that means that their babies are a little bit more likely to inherit that webbed hind feet situation, which is going to make them slow too. Yeah, that's not very good. They have a 2 in speed on land, so we might actually want to try to breed that out of their line as soon as possible, because the collectors are mainly going to be stationed by the berry bushes, so it's not going to be too helpful for them to be able to swim in the water. But let's give him the name Almond to of course go along with the gorgeous color of his fur. He has those yellow eyes too, which I really, really like. I remember so long ago we were so worried that the yellow eyes were going to completely disappear from the pack, but so far so good. And it looks like, Needle, you can actually catch a third bunny over here. Look at that, she pinned it right underneath her. She is definitely taking the lead right now, much more so than poor Scratch who can't find a single bunny. Let's see, maybe one of them spawned over here? Yes, it did. Now, how are you going to catch this one? I wonder if he's actually going to chase it, straight toward poor Needle. He's only down to 1 turn now. Swift, could you actually help your brother out a little bit? It seems like the bunny is definitely too smart for that, so unfortunately she wasn't able to chase it straight toward her brother. Now, Kirtavan, you might actually be able to help out if you come over here and sit on top of this little stump, because then he would light up a little bit more of the beach, and then maybe we'll be able to see if more of those bunnies are hopping around the sand. For now, Scratch, I guess you are out of luck. The most we could do is move you down here because we know the bunny is somewhere over in this direction, but he still has 0 points in this competition. Poor Scratch. Needle is definitely beating you at the moment. And then let's go back over to the water babies over here. So Anara, can you make it up to the nest in this turn? I think she actually can, so she'll stumble in from the water over here. She'll just stumble her way to the nest and ask very politely if she could use it for her baby. And I'm sure, of course, Brooke would agree very quickly because she does love babies too. Even though she's still kind of a baby herself, she would very much like to help this poor creature who stumbled in from the water. And then Flotsam, you need to help your son out again, so let's have him move over that way so that Perry can kind of scoot up here along the shore. Now, I guess Flotsam should definitely stay next to his son. Unfortunately, there are still no leeches over here for him to use. Maybe if we scoot this way? No, still no leeches. That's a little bit unfortunate. Poor Flotsam. Like, of all the creatures, I hate to see his life cut short due to this illness. But let's make sure that the mutation menu is set up for this baby now. This baby in particular, because we do want to make sure that the water body is in their genetics so that the beak will be a little bit more effective. The beak we use to gather up food under the water, so it's very, very helpful if they have the water body too, so that they don't have to worry about drowning. And oh my goodness, poor Cinder. Poor Cinder passed away and left all of this darkness behind him. I guess we're going to have Marina scoot up this way. She could actually sit right in this nest too so that she can start her family, and then we'll have Riptide kind of follow behind her and maybe sit by one of these berry bushes to help Breeze, who has grown his final gem. Look at you, you're all grown up, our little prince. Oh my gosh, isn't he handsome though? He's probably very excited to see that he's going to have a little brother or sister very soon too, so he can gather up his berries, and then I guess Riptide can help him out. It looks like they've almost completely picked all of these berries clean too. We could actually position River in between these two, and then they could really pick all the berries, couldn't they? I guess we actually want Brook to sit here so that she's between the two nests, and then let's have Pearl start moving over this way to, of course, breed with Shark. So she can have her baby on one of the future turns. And Shark, let's see. Why don't you actually come back here to pick some more of these berries for us, because he does have the 2 running legs, so he would probably be very suited to that. And then that should be the water babies all finished up. Luckily they're having more babies right now because we definitely need to light up this area more. This entire tree is completely dark now, which is not good. We usually have Riptide sitting up there so that he can collect the acorns, but we're going to have to definitely sit one of his children up there instead. So what about the wrestling back here? We do need to figure out what was wrestling before. Maybe Diamond and Hironu could actually play leapfrog this way. I feel like, oh my gosh, really? I was going to say I feel like there's probably a bunny burrow back here, but instead we have a 3rd healing fruit in the healer's glade. Really, you guys? You are just hoarding all of the healing fruits back here. We'll definitely take a look at that, okay? Definitely peek at that. Hironu is going to have to make a little pathway on his last turn, so at least he has once again benefited the pack very, very much with his ways of diving off into the grass, chasing after bunnies. So now I believe we actually have 2 healing fruits that are fully grown. We have this one down here by the water, and we also have this one way over here at the edge of their territory. So we have 2 healing fruits left over. This is Birch's final day too. So I guess we actually could have him come over here and munch on this little healing fruit. I guess we could, like on his very final turn, we'll have him use the healing fruit so that he has just a couple more days to spend with his son Pine. Pine can come over here to sit by the nests, and they can actually guard the side of the pack over here. They can guard this entrance that they've made from the other territories to make sure that nobody comes in and tries to steal all of their fruits, of course. And then Zen can pick his berries, and then I actually want him to go over here with his brother to hopefully clear out the area. And they might start getting a little bit suspicious as they're hearing all of this splashing over here by the stream, because Cove is trying to claw his way up here, chasing after bunnies apparently. He's trying to claw his way up to find some help, because he is getting very, very hurt now. His life has been reduced by 4 days, so he is definitely going to need the healer's attention very, very soon. Let's have Wayward come over this way, not only to grab up all of this food over here, and there's the bunny burrow. This is where all of those little bunnies were coming from. So at least we finally figured out that mystery. And then he can actually peek in a few of these little patches of grass to help Cove get up there a little bit faster. Because on the very next turn, I think he is actually going to start making his way over to this brand new healing fruit. Maybe Diamond will lead him there, and he can heal himself at least of his damage. Unfortunately, I don't think that's actually going to take care of the parasite illness, because we do need something in this little like extra slot, I guess, to actually get the glitch to go away, and that's why having another leech on our creatures would probably get it to disappear. But it does look like Phoenix has grown his second gem, so that means he can do a little bit more exploring. We could actually have him come down here to pick up this crabbit meat for us, and there is a leech. Why do we always see leeches when we don't actually need them? Like, unfortunately, this is so far away from any of our creatures who would need to use the leeches. So we're just going to have to steer clear of that for these guys, because we don't want them getting the illnesses either. And instead we'll have Rose scoot her way over here so that she's not in the swamp tiles. Like, that's the one concern. Unfortunately, this nest is right on top of the swamplands, so these babies are a little bit more likely to get sick right when they're born, which is not a good thing. Now Kamiko, this is one of your final days too. Oh my goodness, so you definitely need to have your baby. Now, unfortunately, because the mutation menu takes into effect at the end of the day when the baby is born, that was actually confirmed by the developers on Twitter. That means that we can't change this around because we do want the beak and the water body in the mutation menu for Anara's baby. So we're just going to have to cross our fingers that the mutation menu doesn't do something really, really strange to Kamiko's final baby. I mean, considering that they banished Pine and Anara for looking so strange, I don't think they would be too pleased if Kamiko's final baby had the water body or the beak on her too, but we'll have to see what happens there. Instead, we'll have Cloud come back over here to pick up his acorns again because that should definitely be his job. And then we could have Wave just kind of scoot out here and pick some of his berries. He does have the running leg, so he is able to pick a few of the berries for us. We should probably have Honey come over here to breed with Vankir again. We want them to have as many babies as possible just because we definitely want those double berry pod collectors born on this side of the island. But other than that, I think all of the other creatures need to stay here just to keep the babies safe. And that might actually be all of the turns that we can make for this day in particular, so we'll go ahead and skip the day. At the very least, we could have Rarico kind of scoot over here and maybe munch on a couple of the berries too. She was copying her sister Swift before with the berry munching habits, so she might actually enjoy the sweet taste of berries as well. But otherwise, I think we are officially done with this day. So let's see what our next little baby from Anara and Flotsam is going to look like. This might actually be their last baby too, because unfortunately, she only has 3 days left on her lifespan, and the babies are going to be in the nest after this, and they won't be able to move. So this is probably going to be their very last baby together, and let's see exactly what it's going to look like. Hopefully it'll have the beak. Yes, it does. And look at that. He also has the water body, doesn't he? Yes, that is perfect. He managed to inherit the beak and the water body, and that means that we're actually going to be able to take him into the water to hopefully dig around for some food for the pack. But oh my goodness, it also rained on top of it. Like, how perfect is that? How lucky is this little baby right here? And then look at you. Look at this gorgeous baby too, with her blue eyes and her fur. I think she has the same gray fur as River, right? I think she actually does. Oh, she is gorgeous. Let's actually name her Ripple. And then the other baby over here we'll name Puddle. So Ripple and Puddle. I feel like they would probably be pretty good friends because of course they were born right at the same time. So we'll have to see how their little friendship develops too. And Brooke has completely grown on this turn as well. Like a lot of very lucky things going on as the rain comes in. And it looks like Breeze is going to have a lot of work ahead of him because he is going to have to pick up all of these berries. Luckily he does have a lot of help. He has Riptide over here helping him. He has River over here helping him too. We should probably have Marina come over here to breed straight away with Riptide again, and then we'll scoot her over here toward the nest one more time so that she can hopefully give birth once we can move the babies out of the nest. And then we'll have Riptide go ahead and help Breeze collect all of these berries, and River's going to have to do the same. There we go. So that was quite a few berries for us to gather up. Now we're going to have to make room in the nest for Pearl too, so let's have her scoot over here so that they know that she's in the area. Actually, this is going to be her first time meeting most of the pack, and I'm sure they are going to be very impressed by her fishing tail. So let's scoot her over here so that she is, of course, in the area. And then let's have Flotsam and Perry come up here to, of course, meet the newest addition to their family. So they can actually make it all the way over to the nest to meet the newest little brother. Oh my goodness, little Puddle and Perry. I'm sure that they're going to be very good friends too. And for that matter, look at that, he doesn't even have the no paw, does he? Oh wow, that is really good. So this guy is going to be a very healthy addition to the pack on top of it all. Now I do believe that that is going to be their last child together because of course she only has 2 days left of her lifespan, so even if they bred right now, she wouldn't be able to have her baby because she would pass away before she could give birth. So instead we'll just have them all sit together. We could possibly have, let's see, well all of the babies are protected, so maybe Brooke could actually come back here just to pick up the berries before the bunnies do. Okay, so this little bunny is back here munching on all of the berry bushes it looks like, so that is definitely why we need somebody to come back there to light up the area for us. I guess Shark for now, you could actually stay here to pick more berries. He doesn't need to come over here to breed with Pearl just yet anyway, so he could just stay in the swamplands and pick our berries for us. And I guess that's actually it for this side of the pack, so let's go way back here and try to pick all of these berries. Oh my goodness, before the bunnies come out. Oh no, we have so many bunnies on this island. Like, you would think that they would have started disappearing by now because we caught so many of them on the previous episode. I have a feeling that's probably another bunny back here. Maybe we could actually have Wayward kind of scoot around. I mean, I don't think he's going to be able to do that in time just because there's so much in the way. He has the berry bush over here, he has the tree over here, so even if he kind of stumbled his way through all of this grass, he probably wouldn't be able to catch the bunny before it runs away. And instead we want Cove to scoot his way up here to try to let these healers know what's going on. So he's really not feeling good right now. He really desperately needs a healing fruit. And it looks like poor Toronu has passed as well, right next to Diamond, which I'm sure he's very upset about. We could have Cove scoot up this way to grab the healing fruit up here. Diamond's going to have to help collect it for him. We'll have him munch on the healing fruit, and there we go. He has 8 days left on his lifespan again, and it looks like it actually took away the parasite illness. Okay, well that's good to see. So not only does the healing fruit get rid of all of the damage that they've taken, but it does seem to truly get rid of that leech glitch. Why don't we actually have a Zen clear out this grass and then he can sit between these two berry bushes? Like, it might actually be a good thing if we could get one of the nimble-fingered creatures to make their way to the healer's glade too, because they have quite a few berry bushes to pick from and not enough running legs to actually take care of them all. But what is this little baby? Oh my goodness, look at her. She's almost a spitting image of her sister too. How adorable is that? The only thing she's missing is the claw, but she does of course have the nimble fingers that her father has. So that's very good to see. And not only that, but she does have, of course, the poison fangs. She's carrying the gills in her recessives though. That's interesting. Rose was not, so we'll have to keep that in mind just in case that pops up on any of her babies. But let's give her the name Hazel. And then we'll have this little baby Almond move out of the nest so that his mother can move into the nest now. Is she okay? Oh no, Honey is sick with the common cold. Okay, so this is actually going to be one of her last babies too. Well, luckily we have had many babies born between them, and that is a lot of new nimble fingers on the pack, like more than we have ever had on any of our islands before. So I am very glad that this little family was able to get started before the creatures became too old. Now we do have a Crabbit over here, but I think it's a little bit more important that Cloud actually picks up the acorns instead. So we'll have him do that. He could possibly knock down a few more to pick up in the meantime. And then we could have Wave once again just pick up as many berries as he can, because I'm sure the bunnies are sniffing after these too. Now at the very least we could have Sunflower come over here to scoop up a few of the berries with her nimble fingers. And then I think all of the babies are protected, right? Yeah, they're all nice and protected, and this is Kamiko's very final day. So why don't we move her over here so that she's not dying on the nest? We'll move her right over here to of course keep Rose and Hazel both safe and sound with their father. He has quite a bit of life left on him though, so we might actually want to find him another mate at some point if possible. That would probably be a good idea just to get even more nimble fingers on the island, because we had such a shortage before. It was so hard for us to get to pass over the claw in particular. That's why it was so lucky when Vankier was born, and that's why we kind of gave him the name of the god of the harvest. Now Needle, it looks like we can't find any more bunnies out here, so you might want to start making your way back toward the mainland, especially to let your father know all of the good luck that you've been having. At the very least, we could have, let's see, Rarico, you can pick a couple of your berries again, and there is another little bunny. Oh, but you've come over here where we don't have anyone with enough energy to actually get you. Flotsam at the very least could maybe scoot up there to grab this berry before the bunny does. And then I feel like Kirtavan might actually just completely destroy this berry bush that he's been sitting next to. I mean, we don't really need to use this one in particular as bait, so why don't we just have him cut it down for the extra food? It will grow back anyway, so we'll have him do that for now, and then we can have Swift kind of zip around here to gather up some of her berries too. Now Scratch, where on earth did your little bunny go? You're still searching desperately for that one bunny that you saw way out here, but it seems like it has definitely moved on. So I don't know, I don't think Scratch is going to be able to catch up with Needle. I feel like at this point, Nuku might actually say, like, Needle, you are going to be the next queen of this island, because you are definitely a better bunny collector than Scratch was. So he has 4 days left of his life, but I do definitely feel like Needle is going to be the one to take over the carnivore side of the pack at the very least. Now that might actually be all of the turns that we can make. We just have little Pine back here who could possibly peek in a little bit of this grass for us. And then we have a Diamond back here who of course needs to clear out the area around the healing fruit, especially now that they've actually used it for Cove. So I don't feel like Cove is going to stay in the healer's glade. I feel like he would really want to make his way back to his family, but he's probably going to take a very roundabout way of doing that. Maybe he'll come over this way and try to walk down the path that Torono cleared out so long ago. We'll have to see where he ends up, I suppose. Now that is officially the end of this turn, so let's see what Honey's next little baby is going to look like, as unfortunately Kamiko is going to be passing away. Oh my goodness, just as Rose grew up too. And look at this one! Oh my gosh, look at you! Again, with the double nimble fingers, so that is very good to see. I love the way that the yellow eyes look on the spit snouts. They're so bright that they almost look like they're glowing. I think we'll name this little baby Laurel, and let's scoot Honey out of the nest, and let's see, I think this is officially her very last day because of course she is sick. So we're going to have to make sure that enough of these creatures are around to actually protect all of these babies. Like, we have so many babies on this side of the island now. I would be really concerned if any carnivores decide to spawn off in the swamplands, which is why it might be a little bit more beneficial if maybe Wave kind of made a little bit of a buffer between the pack and the darkness. We do want Cloud to keep collecting the acorns though, so he's going to have to stay right here. It would be really nice if he had maybe like a son or a daughter to help him out. Unfortunately, Phoenix did not inherit the Cracker Jaw, so he's not going to be able to help him collect the acorns. And in fact, I don't feel like he's really going to feel like he fits in this pack once he grows up, because he has those huge big ears. He kind of seems to favor the warmer climates because of those big ears. It gives him a little bit of heat resistance. So maybe he would actually try to find a little bit of a warmer place to call home in the future. Now wait a second, do we actually have... Oh my gosh, we actually have a Dodomingo out here? Oh my goodness, like I completely forgot that these guys were even a thing because we haven't seen the Dodomingos in so long. Look at this guy. I feel like Rareco in particular would like dart out here to see what this strange bird is. She would definitely follow this bird into the grass to see exactly where it's going, and it looks like it might be going toward the healer's glade. That's interesting. I wonder if she's going to follow the bird all the way over to where the healers are. Her siblings have not noticed, of course, and we do have a bunny down here too. Oh my goodness, Scratch, can you get this bunny? I feel like this bunny is going to be a little bit too far away for you. Yeah, you only have one turn left. At the very most, Kirtavan might be able to scare it toward you, but I feel like he's a little bit more greedy than that. He would probably jump down here to grab the bunny for himself. So unfortunately, Scratch, you are out of luck. You have not been able to catch a single bunny despite all of your hard work, and despite the fact that he also has those big ears too. Like, the plan was that they were going to mutate these different genetics so that they would look a little bit more like the bunnies and they would be able to lure them closer with their similar ways, but it seems like that has definitely not been the case for poor Scratch. Needle does have her a crown of ram horns though, so she is looking very queenly, and I think she probably will be taking on the island in 3 days, or at least the carnivore side of the pack. So in the next episode, it's very likely that we'll be seeing the shifting of crowns once more, and we'll also see the very first baby of Pearl too, as we swap around these babies a little bit. We could have Puddle sit next to his fully grown brother. Oh my goodness, how adorable is he, little Perry. And then we can have Pearl sit in this nest instead, and of course set up the mutation menu so that the fishing tail is right in the 30% slot. And then why don't we also place the gills in the 10% slot just to make it maybe a little bit more likely that they might get the gills from their father. We will definitely have them breed a little bit more in the next episode, but for now I think that is officially all we have time for. Look at all of the creatures here though. We have so many babies on this island now. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!